I told y'all to stay tuned for this video for Sony later on this week. I told you I was here, so video's coming out today, so let's get to it. The CEO for Sony, one of the CEOs that was working with a studio, Jay Raymond, anybody that has Sony currently, Jay Raymond was one of our CEOs that games for certain studios. The bad news for Sony, anybody that has Sony and Apple currently, Jay Raymond has stepped down as CEO of one of her studios. She just stepped down, y'all. It's not looking good on Sony's end right now. They're in a midlife crisis right now. Just stepped down as our CEO for one of the studios that was making games pretty much. She stepped down as of yesterday. They said she might have been fired. I could be wrong, but I think they said she resigned. It has been the same. It hasn't been the same since Jim Ryan left, guys. I told you that in all my videos last year, all my vlogs last year, and I told you that in all my videos last year. It's when Jim Ryan shut down that studio for Sony, that was probably one of the biggest things he could have made for shutting it down, because those are games he honestly wanted to be made. The games that honestly wanted to be made, he couldn't really make them because he canceled. Well, yeah, they canceled 12 live service games, count Gran Turismo 8 and 9. I don't think Gran Turismo 8 and 9 was going to be live service, but yeah, Jay Raymond stepped down as our CEO. Right now, it might not get to a PS6 the way this is going. They said the PS6 comes out in 2020. That might not happen now that Jay Raymond is gone. Because when she stepped down, as of yesterday, from what I know, what I think was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday or the day before. But still, it's not looking good on Sony's end, guys. It's not looking good. Sony's in a midlife crisis because they don't want to do what Microsoft is doing right now. And they don't want to give credit to Microsoft for doing what they're doing right now. But I told them on this was bound to happen because Sony can't stay. I told them on there too, and all my bills as well. Sony can't stay traditional now. They have to savvy to say copy what Microsoft is doing, and they're probably not going to do it. They're going to spend, and they're about to lose. Use some more bad news. They're about to lose over $680 billion. They're about to lose another $680 billion in revenue from all those games they call themselves trying to make. They're about to lose almost $700 billion, almost not exactly, almost $700 billion. $1 million, I meant. They're about to lose over 700 mil from wasting time making games they were trying to make, and it was going to flop like a mofo. It's not looking good on Sony's end, guys. It's not. And I told them on this that Sony can't stay traditional. Because once Microsoft went multi-platform, that was a wrap for Sony regardless, because Sony got the two main first parties, like I said. As they were Prototype 3 and 4 coming out, those are going to be on Microsoft first. They won't be on Sony until later. Because when Sony gets that game, it's being funded by Microsoft, it's being funded by Activision as well. But they won't get that for Sony until later. But anyways. So like I was saying too, as well, it's not looking good on Sony's end, guys. It's the first time I actually talked about Sony in a while. Just making all those videos last year, obviously talking about it pretty much and made the sports content and everything else, pun intended as well. But like I said, when Jay Brennan stepped down, this could be the end of Sony, guys. I'm dead on serious. And I told them all this, Sony can't stay traditional now. They're about to lose another 600 plus, almost $700+ million in money gone. They're about to lose that soon. And Sony's already creatively bankrupt. You and drugs, no, restaurants, no. Super no drug. Well, meds, yes, but not marijuana. Whatever else you're thinking of, no. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Obviously, Sony and Apple, we need to talk. But I told them on to this too. Sony is creatively bankrupt. Well, Sony. Yeah, Red Shanks. Yeah, Red Shanks. You on the mic? And it was something else. Um, like I was saying, obviously, Sony's in deep trouble. That Jay Raymond resigned as a I didn't mean to. It's okay, Rich. It's okay. Um, anyways, Sony and Apple, we need to talk. We need to talk because, like I said, Sony and Apple is not doing good right now. And now with that, now that Jay Raymond is gone, what is Sony going to do right now? Like I said, it's not looking good on Sony's end, guys. It's not looking good. It's not looking good because they lost consecutive CEOs. Yeah, consecutive CEOs went from Jim Ryan retiring, and now Jay resigning. Too many CEO switches. All that money lost from game swapping. Certain game swapping counting Concord, pun intended. It's not like it's not looking good on Sony's end, guys. It's not looking good on Sony's end because without Jay Murray, how they going to make any games they want to make? They better got anything coming out other than Ghost of Yote and Death Stranding too. But other than that, that's all they got. I told them onto this. I need to give your current generation the smoke, and I told you that in all my bills last year and 2020 and this year too, pun intended. And Sony's in deep trouble. And the person that worked, Jay Crawford, she used to work with Fair. I think she worked with Fair Games and a couple other studios. I think she worked with Fair Games, and now they might delay Elden Ring Part 2. And when that does come out, that's gonna be the last one. Elden Ring 2 is gonna be the last one, guys. Games are peaking out now. Means there won't be no Elden Ring 3 now that Jay Crawford stepped down from Fair Games, pretty much. It's not looking good on Sony's end, guys. It's not looking good. Sony's in a midlife crisis right now. For real, for real. So, like I said, it's not looking good. Sony's in a midlife crisis. Sony might be the console industry. Their creativity bankrupt. And then they spent all this money on Bungie. Even with Destiny 3 looming, they might cancel that now because they couldn't get it done on Bungie with the final shape, pretty much. So 2 was at its peak. And if they did make 3, they was going to delay that one. 3 was in his Trinity paper. That was probably the one that was supposed to came out. Yes. Bungie's fall off at the Halo Reach was outstanding. Outstanding piece, EX, and Go, the Super Chat. Not lying, PXC, ACC, PX, SACC, not lying about that. Bungie's in serious trouble. But now that Jay Crawford is gone, it's not looking good on Sony's end. It's not. Now, even with Elden Ring 2 coming out, that's going to be the last sequel for that particular game because Part 1 was way ahead of its time and 2 was in its athletic prime. Now that Jay Raymond is gone, what is Fair Games going to do now, even when Elden Ring 2 comes out? Because they might not get to the trilogy because now that Jay Raymond is gone now, it's not looking good on Sony's end right now. PX, season comes, new generation of game design, ruining everything. PX, XZ, okay, ACC. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. PXC, ACC. Absolutely right. Absolutely. It's the original design is ruining everything. Yeah, you're not lying about that. Not lying about that. Because, like I said, Bungie's falling off a cliff. Jay Crawford's gone. Jay Crawford is gone. Jim Ryan is gone. And then he shut down Sony's studio, Japan studio, which was probably the biggest thing he could have made because he lost more money for that in the process. It's not looking good on Sony's end, guys. I told you this bill was coming later on this week now. bills made today. So stay tuned for more bills today as well. But like I said, Sony and Apple's in deep trouble. They're in a midlife crisis right now. Because now that Jay Crawford is gone, it's not looking good on Sony's end right now. And Elden Ring 2 might be delayed, for what I know. So even if they do make that sequel, it's not looking good on Sony's end. So by the time that sequel comes, Elden Ring 2 will be the last one. Which is not looking good on Sony's end right now. The trade Crawford stepped down as of yesterday, and that's not looking good on Sony's end right now. It's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good on Sony's end. For real, for real. It's really sad what Sony's going through right now. It's crazy what's going on with Sony right now. It might not get to a PS6 because one of my reliable sources brought up, King Winnie brought up, they canceled some of the PS6 games, and the PS6 is not even out yet. And luckily, they didn't cancel the games I obviously knew they were coming out, but they canceled the PS6 games because they don't have the money to make them. Like I said, PS5 could be the last one, or the Pro version could be the last one because in the OG Slim and the OG Discless Edition Slim could be the last ones pretty much because Sony's creativity bankrupt. They don't have the money to make any games. They don't have the first parties no more. Sherman is gone. Now Jay Crawford is gone. Our currency or Rokuzunoki is not don't know what the hell he's doing right now. And Herman Hulst, he don't know what the hell he's doing right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets fired. Herman Hulst gets fired. He's probably working with the first one, and he still has yet to come up with any idea for the first party still. You already know what the first party Microsoft owns them now. I told you know how to too. Sony can't stay traditional now. They don't have the money to stay traditional. I told them on this. Sony's creativity bankrupt. I told them that all my bills, and all my shorts too. When KBH podcast, or previous name was Egyptian Queen too. Before I changed it to Royal Head 6, before I changed the KBH podcast. But still, like I said, I told them on you need to give your current generation the smoke, because you can't give the 8th generation the smoke because the 8th generation's gotten it done. Nintendo Switch 1 sold all those units. PS2 sold those units. PS4 is out, and hell, PS4's outdoing PS5. It's not even close in terms of the unit. I showed you bills for that too on the Xbox versus Sony Forever already, obviously. The PS4 sold more units than PS5, and they sold more units this year than last year on PS5, pretty much. They sold more units on PS4. They had 120 million units this year, from what it said when I checked the data over a month ago, obviously. So it only sold 56 million this year, which is the fewest they had since 2020, when they sold a whopping 80 million units for the console before it went down. It's down to 56. I don't say saying they got the 78 million console units. They only sold 56. If only 56 million brought those consoles, that's so sad. I mean, it's the other 21.8 I meant million did not buy it. Either they got Microsoft, or they got PC Game Pass, or they got the console itself. The one that my uncle has currently either got the Series X all digital, or the Series S all digital. So it's not good on Sony's end, guys. The 56 million units they sold this year is the fewest they sold this year so far compared to 2020 and 2024, obviously. In 2020 to 2024, obviously, is what I meant to say, obviously. But Jay Crawford is gone. Jim Ryan is gone, retired. Jay Crawford just resigned or got fired, I think, but mostly she resigned. But Sony's running out of ideas to make games for certain studios now. They don't have the money now. It's not looking good on Sony's end, guys. It's not looking good on Sony's end right now. And I told you, money, I need to give our current generation the smoke. Yeah, in fact, you should be getting Nintendo the smoke too, because knowing that Diamante has Nintendo Switch 1, so you're only going to defend the inflation. So you can't defend the inflation if you're going to buy Nintendo Switch 2 and then they're going to brick your console if you modify the consoles. So my uncle won't be able to won't be able to do it for Nintendo for life now because they said if he modifies any Nintendo console, they'll break the console for life. So it's like my uncle John might move on from Nintendo pretty much because he can't modify the new Switch, the Switch 1 or the Switch 2 now because of this new rule that Nintendo Switch put in as of now. So you can't modify it because if you modify, they're gonna brick your console. It means you won't be able to play online or at all because you have the Nintendo rules. But anyways, so like John's gonna move on from Nintendo pretty much. So I'm trying to modify any Nintendo console pretty much. But anyways, Jay Raymond is gone. Too many CEO switches. They're about to lose more money. Sony's about to lose more money in terms of them making games. About to lose over $700 million. Another $700 million gone. It's never good on Sony that it's not. Sony is doing terrible right now, guys. They're in a midlife crisis right now because they don't have no games coming other than Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding too. It's not looking good on Sony's end, guys. For real. Hey, Nick's responded with the special with the super chat. What's up? What's up? But like I was saying, Sony Apple's in deep trouble because they're in the midlife crisis. Too many CEO switches. A CEO just current CEO from Haven Studio and Fair Games just resigned as of yesterday. So I don't know what Sony's gonna do right now. Sony's in deep trouble, guys. Deep shit. This is the deep shit they've been in nearly decades. It's back then when Sony was the shit then, but as of now, Sony's not the shit no more now. So like I said too, I told you you need to give your current generation the smoke. What does it matter if they got the hardware if they don't got the software? And they don't have the money to make any new first party to rely on second and third parties in retros and independent games and indies, what they call them. That's basically what they're on. That's what's saving them right now. Is that the independent, the indies, the retros, and the platformers and second and third. That's the only that's saving them right now. But other than that, they don't got nothing coming. And I told you need to give your generation the smoke because what does it matter if they have the hardware? They don't got the software. So I don't have nothing coming other than the games I told you that was coming. But even when those get to those games are gonna peak out pretty much. So the game you played, Dinosaur Warrior Origins, that game peaked out for us your gaming sin pretty much. That peaked out the amount there as well. So like I said, Sony Apple's in deep trouble because they got nothing coming. Sony can't stay traditional. They don't have the money to make any games right. And they're about to lose another $700 million in terms of revenue. They're about to lose that money now because one of my rival sources, Mr. Wright, was just talking about that last night. I didn't see his podcast last night, but he was talking about Sony losing another $700 million. Another 700 mil. Paige Johnson with some man, he's spitting some fire. I said it's better than the bathroom. Super job. I can't really answer that question, Paige, but yeah, like I said, Sony Apple's in deep trouble. But without them having any money to make any games, how's Sony going to succeed now? Now that they don't have no CEOs, the Rogue is our current CEO, but he's going to be retiring soon because he's almost in his 80s now. And he can't stay CEO forever because the reason why he took that job is because Herman Host stepped down. And Herman Holt's not doing good either. And would be surprised if they fire Herman Holtz for real because he's holding Sony to something. Like Dirk Wrigley said, and I said too, he's holding Sony to something. Because he said that in his podcast, I was watching his podcast yesterday, obviously. He said he's holding Sony to something. And I agree with Dirk Wrigley on that too. He's holding Sony to something. But anyways, like I was saying, how the ninth generation kind of done do all it with the hardware. They don't got the software. They don't got the first parties. They're on second parties and third parties, and the retro and indies, and the platformers and everything else, and the RPGs. Sony might not have those RPGs no more because Microsoft is going to probably take over Square Enix potentially. Square Enix squash exclusivity BS with Sony last year, so games all the Square Enix games going everywhere now, going to PC, Sony, Microsoft, and we're in the multi-platform era. They're whether you like it or not, and we're in the cross-share era too, whether you like that or not either. But you can add me on Xpagore too, Furry Kingdom, Chummy Ishi, Masuga Ishi 4, and Super Tensity 4. Those are all my PSNs. You can add me on TikTok, Women Queen 4. You can add me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. God's on that one. You can add me on my 2 backup as well. I already posted my followers limit on one of those accounts. I was slowly posting my followers on my other one, but you can find me on my Spotify, on 4 of my Instagrams. 2 of them, I only got 2 of them. The other 2 are removed for now. So I removed them for later. But anyways, you can add me on Spotify, Cloud Gaming, FF4859, and Darker Way 66. You can subscribe to me on YouTube, Raise Power 8, KBH Podcast, That's for Person Sunday Forever, and News Hutch 1 as well. Yeah, guys, just wanted to make this video today. But more bills are coming today, obviously. I just wanted to make this video today to talk about Jay Crawford stepping down from Fair Games and the other studio that she was working with, obviously. Just wanted to get this right out today, guys, as well. If you like this video, leave a like, obviously. Share out the video to everybody, pretty much. Okay, guys, I ended it right there. You got all my links. Oh, I'll give you all my links to Spotify. Hello Effin. I'm Messiah. That's my person series. That's all of this PS5 all digital. And News Touch 1, that's all 4 of my Spotify's. You find me on all 4 of those. You'll know it's me. Same person that make the podcast, but it's all 4 of my Spotify's. But anyways, that's all 4 of my Spotify links. You can find me on Twitch, Linman Hunt, Fred Kennebury, Mikhail Rolf, and Yuki Hunt. Those are all 4 of my Twitch accounts. So you got all my links as well. But in the video right there, guys, just wanted to get this video out. Talking about Jay Crawford stepping down from Fair Games. Person that made Elden Ring played the fact of Elden Ring, played the factor of Elden Ring Part 1, pretty much. Just want to get this right out as well. But some of that we need to talk right now, because this is getting way out of hand right now. Yeah, deuces.